So international trade, when we think about international trade, okay, the first thing that came to our mind, probably like, you know, losing job, right? Or we get more selection of different product from, you know, different places. So this is the oh my God. So we have different trade theories. Okay, a very long time ago, we have the mercantilism or merchantil. It's like from merchant, so it's, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's a mercantilism or mercantilism. So we'll talk about it, and then we have absolute advantage. We have comparative advantage, and then later after in 20th century, we have the factor proportion theory. We have international product life cycle with new trade theory, and then we have national competitive advantage. I don't know if we talk about the national competitive advantage before. I feel like we did, but you know, you guys can tell me later on. So the mercantilism, you know, the nation, they believe at the time, it was, remember, it was in 1600 to 1700, right? So at that time, not all the countries have paper bill, right? I don't think even US. So at that time, the trade is based on gold. Okay, it's like we will talk about the currency in a later chapter, and then we would know at that time, you know, they use gold as standard to trade, to decide, okay, the money in US is worth this much in UK, this much in, you know, in Germany. They use the gold reserve. Okay, so at that time, they believe that if we sell stuff to different country, we actually collect gold from the other country. So we'll have more gold in our country. Okay, so they would encourage export. They don't want import. Okay, we import, that means we're paying other countries our money, right? So they have three beliefs, three pillars. So one is we want to maintain trade surplus. So that means we want to have more export than import. Okay, and they believe in government intervention. Government should help business to export. Okay, and then they export colony. So that's why, you know, like at that time, US is not part of it, but UK has a lot of colonies all over the world. Germany has some other countries. France also has some countries, Spain and Portugal. Okay, did you guys? I don't know if you guys learned that in your world history. Did you learn like which country colonized where? You guys know in like high school? At high school,
know, like Spain colonized Mexico. Spain.
Yeah, whatever the Spanish speaking, you know. So Spain basically took over all these places, but Portugal has Brazil. That's why Brazil speaks Portuguese, right? And then there are some like France has some North Africa country, and then UK has some Africa country here, and UK has a lot of countries like UK had India, and UK had like somewhere here. Well, UK had Hong Kong, and then Cambodia. French has Cambodia. So they have different all over the place. So did you guys? I remember when I was in high school, we need to memorize. Like, okay, so you know, France has this country, Germany has this country here and there. So we need to memorize those. But now I forgot. So, but that's when this time happened, like in 16th, 17th, 18th century. Okay, those things happen. So the flaw for that is they believe the world trade is zero-sum game. So if we sell more, we win. Okay, but actually nowadays we don't really believe that. Okay, we will talk about it later. And then they have constrained output and consumption. Okay, and then they limit the colony's market potential. So they actually exploit colonies. They don't really help them to develop. They just want to get stuff and then get it cheap. So, and then later on we have the absolute advantage trade theory. So we use examples between two countries. I use Taiwan and Japan. Okay, so Taiwan is famous to grow banana. Okay, and then Japan is famous to grow peach. That's why I use the example there. So here, it tells us like there are two countries, and assuming they both have same resources, 200 unit, okay, just count as 200 unit. And then they can use either to produce banana or peach. And in Taiwan, it will cost 10 units of the resources to produce 1 ton of banana, okay? And it costs 20 units of resources to produce 1 ton of peach. And in Japan, it's 40 and 10. So you can see here, in Taiwan, they have absolute advantage to produce banana, right? Because it only costs them 10 units of resources. And in Japan, their absolute advantage is peach. So it only costs them 10 units of resources to produce 1 ton of peach, okay? So if with the 200 units of resources, Taiwan can produce 20 tons of banana, 0 peach, or we can say 10 tons of banana. Okay, if we produce 10 tons of banana, it will cost us 100 units of resources, right? And then we have 100 left. So we will have 10 tons of banana, and then we have 5 tons of peach. Okay, so anything in between this. So we can draw a line. So this is banana, this is peach, right? So it's like a very simple linear modeling. So banana, if we only produce banana, we'll have 20 tons. So let's say 20 is here. Okay, 20. It'll be here. And if we only produce peach, it will be 10. So for Taiwan, the line to produce peach or banana, it will be any combination on this line, right? Right, yeah. So for Japan, on the other hand, it will be 20 divided by 40 will be 5. So it will be here. This is banana. And then 200 divided by 10 will be 20. So it will be something like this. So this is Japan. So this is Japan. And this is Taiwan. Okay. So so this is the line. Without trade, we could say, okay, we are going to produce 10 tons of banana, 5 tons of peach. Japan produced 10 tons of peach, 2.5 tons of banana. Okay, so totally both countries we have 12.5 tons of banana, 15 tons of peach. Okay, I'm going to show you the next table. So, so they could produce this much banana or peach, but without trade, that's what we have, 12.5 versus 20, right? mean 12.5 versus 15. But if we can trade, okay, if we can trade, Taiwan will focus on just doing what they are best at, which is banana. Japan focus on peach. So together, they can make 20 tons of banana, 20 tons of peach, and they can trade, okay? So if we trade 6 tons of banana to Japan with 6 tons of peach, then, you know, we will end up with, in Taiwan, we'll end up with 14 tons of banana, 6 tons of peach, and then Japan other way around. But no matter what, we'll be better off compared to if we don't trade, right? So, but, so this shows us that it's actually beneficial for us, for countries to trade, right? If they focus on what they are good at. But what if some country, they are just not good at doing anything compared to another country? Okay, so they don't have absolute advantage. So if that's the case, then we will have something we call comparative advantage. So instead of comparing one country with another one, we don't do that. Instead of doing that, we now just compare what we can do in our own country. Okay, so like Taiwan, we can do banana with 10 units of resources, peach 13. So we actually have advantage for producing banana and peach, both advantage over Japan. You see that? It costs us less or fewer resources, right? So, so if that's the case, what should Japan do? Should they just give up? No. So if this happens, we can still focus on what we are good at in our country. Like we are better at producing banana, right? It only costs us 10 units of resources. And Japan, it would cost them 20 units of resources to make peach, 1 ton of peach. So in this case, Taiwan would focus on producing banana, Japan will focus on producing peach. Okay, so even with that, okay, we can still produce in total. If we focus on producing banana, we will have 20 tons of banana, right? And Japan, if they focus on producing peach, they will have 10 tons of peach. So when we trade, we are still better off without comparing to without trade. Okay, does it make sense? But like I said, this is just theory. Okay, so we can export 4 tons of banana to Japan, change 4 tons of peach. So we still have in total more banana and more peaches. Yeah, if we trade. Okay. So that's why, you know, we have this theory that promote trading, but this is just theory, because in theory we assume there's no what's the word? There's no rotten fruit, like all the fruit they produce will be good during the transportation, right? Which is not true. And we assume we can trade 6 tons of peach with 6 tons of banana. But I don't know here. Well, even here, banana is cheaper, right? Right? The same weight of banana to same weight of peach, banana is cheaper. So in reality, we won't be able to trade 5 tons of banana with 5 tons of peach, right? So that's why, you know, it doesn't really explain the whole reality, but it just shows us actually if we have trade, it's actually better off. But there are some kind of hidden costs we didn't calculate in a model. Okay. So, but when we have a comparative advantage, we can focus on something we can do, the country, they can do more efficiently. And then they can trade whatever they make there with other country, with something they are not good at, okay? So, so that's the one of the trade. And in this case, they believe that the trading is not a zero-sum game, it's a positive sum game because everybody can benefit, even though in some cases we might lose jobs, but at least, you know, for us, for the consumers, we will pay cheaper price for certain product. We can save money, right? In theory, yeah. So that's why, you know, a lot of people encourage free trade so that, you know, we can kind of help the whole world. Yeah. So this is the limitation that I was kind of talking about. Okay. So in the theory, we only say we have certain units of resources. Okay. And here actually they refer to labor, but in reality, it's more complicated than that. And then some countries definitely have more resources than another country. So in reality, it doesn't really work like that, but this theory is just to demonstrate that it's actually beneficial to have trade. And then we have another theory after that. So we have the factor proportions theory or HO theory. It's invented by two scholars. One last name started with H, one last name started with O. Okay, and it's very difficult to pronounce, so I didn't put it there. So it's a HO theory, factor proportion theory. So when we produce some product, we need resources, right? And here they actually say we will be focusing on something that the type of resources that we have a lot in our country. Okay, so in theory, like let's say China has a lot of labor. So whatever they export could be labor intensive, you know, product. Okay, which, you know, in some cases it makes sense, but there are some exceptions. Okay, so, and then some places they are abundant in land and capital, so they will export, you know, something that require land and capital. Okay, but this guy, Wesley Leontief, he thinks that he look at different examples. He say U.S. actually was abundant in capital money. In theory, because that's what we have most. In theory, we should export the capital intensive product and import the labor intensive product. But we actually export less capital intensive than import. Okay, so that means actually a lot of foreign countries, they import a lot of capital intensive product into US. Okay, so but that's just one example. And then another thing is that actually US attract a lot of investment from different countries to invest in a capital intensive stuff. So, and then they have other examples like Japan. Japan, they are like considered labor abundant country, but they actually export more capital intensive product and import the labor intensive product. Okay, so it's inconsistent with the HO theory. Canada, on the other hand, they export a lot of capital intensive, okay, because they actually work with US, and I think a lot of US companies invest in Canada, and they will make a capital intensive product and then sell it to US. So that's one of the reasons. And India, they export labor intensive. That's consistent with the HO theory, but when they trade with US, they actually export to US more capital intensive product. okay, like the PCs and computer or the software. So so these are just some theory they look at, and then we have the product life cycle. So you guys know product life cycle theory, right? So in theory, when we started a new product, they should be like usually four stage. So in the very beginning, developing stage, the profit or the price for the product is, or the market share is growing. It becomes from very low. This one makes sure. So it's like growing slow. And then second stage is the growing stage. So they start to pick up, like when the product become more popular, more accepted in the market, they will grow a lot. And then they will reach to the maturing stage. Okay, so they will be mature like this, they'll grow slower, and then decline. Okay, like it will either disappear or the demand will be replaced by a new product. Okay, so that's a product life cycle. So in this case, the international product life cycle means that when in a developed country, okay, in a developed country, when the product started to decline, we will start to export the product to developing country so that we can still grow the market in developing country, okay? And then when it finally die down, just just like that. But we can use that to kind of grow ourselves in the Korean market. So when we look at, but now, unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but before when we have
Professor, I think you're getting a phone call.
oh, it's okay. And only my daughter's phone would ring because when I set up like silence, only her phone would have sound.
Maybe they're calling you about your extended call warranty.
What?
Maybe calling you about your car extended warranty.
Maybe, yeah, my car is already 10 years old. So maybe this summer I'll buy a new car, but maybe, I don't know yet. I'm still like waiting to see. Oh, speaking of that, I forgot to tell you guys, I came up with the solution for the hot pot thing. So you guys have the participation, right? So from now on, what not count today because I forgot to bring the card. But from next class, I'm going to give you participation, right? The card. So whoever like the top 5 participation score, I will treat them the lunch at High Pot. Okay, the top 5. And then the rest, if you are going, I will only buy you the drink. You have to pay for the food. Okay, is it fair? Yeah. So in that case, I can know for sure I can afford that. So yeah, so you can I think the hot pot is like $14 to $20, so it's not much. Yeah. And then the drink is like $5-6. So, and then they will give you the sample. They'll give you like in the drinks they put boba or the popping bubble. I don't know if you try, and then or some jelly or different stuff. But they will let you try. Did you guys try the thing yet? Yeah, I see that. Did you try? You don't like it?
It's weird.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
The vacuum for fruit, that's what they said.
Yeah, but because it's the texture.
Yes.
The texture is soft. Some people don't like it. That's why I told you guys like you can, if you don't like it, you don't have to. finish. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do, okay, the top 5. But if the top 5, like one of the person couldn't go, the next one, can, yeah. So I'll just, so that's it. So the April 28, okay, no class, HIPA in Bethlehem. I'll send you guys the information. What else? Okay. So the new trade theory, okay, they think that companies, they would, when we expand, we can increase our capacity, we can create bigger capacity, and then we can reach the economy of scale. So by using that, we can expand to different market, because usually domestic market is like, they have the set size. In order to grow bigger, in order to use our growing capacity to expand, one way is to go to foreign market. Okay, so that's why, we will use the foreign market and then expand our capacity to reach the economy of scale. So in theory, the companies, when they go to a foreign market, if they are able to go there first, they can kind of create an entry barrier for the second mover. So for international trade, the first mover has some kind of advantage. Okay, so they can have economic strategic advantage to be the first. And a lot of times, because they can kind of build a relationship with the foreign government or the foreign official. So usually when let's say American product, when they move to another country, the first mover usually have advantage. Okay, not just America, but some other product moving to here as well. And then the last theory is Michael Porter's national competitive advantage. So they have, it's also called diamond, Michael Porter's diamond. So they have, we can look at different countries' competitiveness by several things. So first is the factor condition, like how abundant they are in different factors, like when we talk about capital, labor, land, those kind of stuff. And then demand condition, whether or not this market, this country have big enough demand. And then whether or not in the same country, they have related supporting industry. Okay. And then the last thing is the company itself, the firm, strategy, structure, and the rivalries in that country. So one thing that people were talking about is, why Apple is produced in China, not anywhere else. It's not because it's cheaper, but it's one reason. But the major reason is because they can find all kinds of manufacturer in the same town, same city nearby. Okay, so they have this city near Shanghai, the industry zone. They have the screen producer, the screen, the LED, LCD, the screen, okay, the panel, and they have chips, they have everything that you can find. So that, when Foxconn assemble, the product, they can find everything nearby. Yeah. So that's the national competitive advantage. And then different factor conditions. So we have basic factors like the labor, the natural resources, the weather, okay. Or we have like advanced factor like education, the skill of labor, okay. Innovation. So those are something that we can look at. And then, like I said, the demand condition, whether or not they have huge demand, so that when whatever we produce there, we can sell directly to the local market. Okay, so because of when we use this Michael Porter's Nations Diamond, we identify the BRICS country, the BRICS. You guys know the BRICS country, the 5 big countries that have very strong score in the nation's competitiveness. BRICS. BRICS. So can somebody guess what are those countries?
So it's Brazil, Russia,
Russia,
India,
India.
China.
The last one is the most difficult one. What is
What's the
S?
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 Slovakia.
Oh, they are not big enough.
Yeah.
S is Somali, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yes.
South Africa. So they are kind of big. They have a lot of population, okay? And then yeah, so there. So those are the 5 countries that actually fit into this nation's competitiveness theory. But there are countries that don't fit. Okay, they don't have the resources, they don't have a huge market. Okay, so the one that we were talking about, like Hong Kong, or where is this country? No, this is Malaysia, but the tip of Malaysia. No, here, the tip of Malaysia.
That's you.
Yeah, Singapore. So this is the tip of Singapore is like very tiny, smaller than Taipei City. So it only take you 2 hours to go around Singapore. Yeah. So Singapore, okay, but they are kind of famous because see they don't have enough labor, they don't have enough population, the market is very small, but they become very competitive because they there's no, like, the bribery, the corruption level is very, very low, and the government is very efficient. So like if you want to start a company in Singapore, it probably only take you 10 minutes like this. You can just basically apply online and then get everything done. When you go to the bank, you can open an account easily, relatively much easier than like even here. Here it might take few days, I don't know, 2 weeks, right? So that they make it very easy for companies that doing trade. Okay, another thing is that the geographic location. So they are here, right? So a lot of cargoes go from all over the world. They can pass, if they pass Singapore, it's faster than making a longer route, to US or yeah. So it's so they have a lot of cargoes there. So they just ship stuff from here everywhere. So it's easier, it's faster. And I think I told you why Taiwan is important too, right? Based on the geopolitical location. So now Taiwan is here, China is here. This is Taiwan Strait, you see the red line. So we share one side, they share one side, and a lot of cargo from Japan to let's say South East Asia or to India, or even from US, they can go from like from South Korea, Japan, they can go through here to go. If not, they have to make a circle here and then come back here. So it would cost them a lot of money to make a circle if this become China's, territory, right? This Taiwan Strait become inner sea. It becomes like all of the sea become part of China. But now this is the public sea, so everybody can go through here. So that's why It's important. Okay, that's why you Americans need to protect Taiwan. Yeah, so these are the some of the theories of the trade, and like I say, this is not recently the international trade is not popular. People started to hate it, but from the theory, we know it's actually better for us, for consumer. Okay, so any questions? So remember, next week, this Thursday, we have presentations. Next week, no class, okay? And you need to do your exam 1 on top hat next week. Okay?
So we have class on this Thursday, but
Yes, this Thursday, we have presentation.
the next Tuesday and Thursday, we don't have
Yeah, next Tuesday, Thursday, because I will be in Oklahoma. Yeah. Yeah. Oklahoma, yeah.
I have a question. So this exam, is it gonna be the same way how we access the homework?
I think so,
Okay.
because I don't, can someone log into their account here so we can see? Do you guys mind? Here, you want to?
I will, I'm a casual saver.
Oh, okay. Does anybody remember that password? Don't mind to, I won't show the quiz, but I just want to see what your screen look like. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm trying to log in right now.
No, not here, but here, so we can, so people can see. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, because I know you guys, like in the beginning, you guys cannot see the questions, some of you guys. So I don't know what you can see, what you cannot see. Oh, oops. Do you use the Gmail or ESU?
Yeah, you know, I don't know how to use it. Yes, you can go right there, but do it, try.
Or it should be live?
It's not at ESU.edu.
No, it should be at live. That, then it definitely, I don't think you use it.
ESU.edu.
Yeah,
I think I know mine, so.
you want to, okay, if this try doesn't work,
Yeah, no.
okay. Okay, thank you.
That's why I save everything on my computer.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
make it once and never again.
Oh,
huh? Wait, is it the capital lock? Okay.
I got it. I had it on my phone all along.
You want to try?
yeah, you tried.
I would, but I'm worried, but I'm locked out for 29 minutes.
Oh, you are? Oh,
That's why I didn't have it locked on the thing.
oh,
I can't log in.
first three. From
Or
try it. Uh-oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna lock that.
okay.
call the backup.
Exactly.
So can you log in now? Did you try it on the? Reset?
It says, you can't log up for 30 minutes, or just reset.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes.
Yay.
Yeah,
See. Okay, so let's see.
15
On the
minutes.
left. So go to the bottom on the left. Yeah, there, exam 1. Yes. So you could see if you can see the question. Okay, yeah. So,
What's the answer?
no, I can read, I can see these things here.
What are the factors of globalization?
So usually this question is either C or D, right?
I guess. If I had a guess on the top of my head, I would guess I was.
Yeah,
Question and one.
yeah.
So that guys, the answer is C.
Okay, so any other questions? So that's
That's
collectivism.
Do you take it now or do you have to wait next week to take it?
You can take it now. It's already available now. So you have till 28 midnight. So 2 weeks. Yep.
So we don't need to finish it in one sitting.
I don't
not, because I already answered number 1.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't.
Let's hope not.
So did I set a time? I don't think I set a
You
time.
just have a due date, that's all.
Yeah, I'm very nice on that.
Oh, it just says, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's in the bottom. Yep,
How many questions are there?
I think 20.
One.
That's very simple. And all of those questions should be in the chapters,
Yeah,
I think.
that first couple chapters. that we were doing.
Yeah, the first 5 chapters. Yeah. And see, I even have like 2.01, 2.05, so you know which chapters to find those things. Okay? Everybody is supposed to get 100.
So we use
Okay.
our textbooks, then. We use the homework self as we did. We use our homework then. Do we like do the questions, can we go back in the chapter or can we leave under?
I don't know, try. Do you want to go back to, would you go to chapter 1?
What am I at 2.01?
See, yeah,
Okay.
you can.
Here's-
I'm very lenient in terms of this because I know people under stress couldn't do well. But the point is for you to know the knowledge. It's not to test whether or not you remember. Okay, so if you don't know, just look it up. Just don't ask the GPT to do the test for you. Or write you whatever presentation.
Lots. That's like-
You know we are recording, right? So you're showing people how to cheat. But how to find the answer for the test. Yeah. So. So you want to log out? Yeah. Log out. Yeah, any other questions? Let me take attendance really quick. If he didn't hear his name, when I call his name, don't wake him up. So this time we do alphabetically. Stewart. Austin. Brown. German. McGill. Clarence. Jessica. Kevin. Him. Justin. Jackie.
I'm here.
Oh. Victoria, I'm here. Madison,
Here.
Rachel. Thomas. Justin. Trevor. Justin. Anthony. Tristan. Kyle. Elijah.
Here.
Wait. So. Oh, Matthew. Brian. Julian.
I'm here.
Wait, Professor, can you hear me? Can you hear
I'm
me?
here.
I'm
Who is
here too.
this? Oh, Rosa.
I'm here.
Miguel and Matthew.
Miguel and Rosa.
Yeah.
You guys need to come here.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm home.
In Rosa. Okay. Guys, name, but- Okay. That's it. Thank you.